right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Lalantia Show. We are here today to talk about Seraphim Angels, and I have a guest, Cristina Aroche, here to join me. For anybody who doesn't know me already, my name is Lalantia. I'm a psychic realm channeler and healer, and I specialize in working with the magical realms. On my channel, I talk all about spirituality, magical beings, so dragons, unicorns, mermaids, fairies, all of the different kinds of magical beings, and pretty much anything to do with spirituality, really. And one thing that I'm not an expert on is angels. Even though angels come in and work sometimes with my clients or for different things that are going on, or even for myself, I have a kind of new to me healer angel that I've been working with that Christina actually helped me connect with. So I wanted to have Christina to come on here today to talk about Seraphim Angels, and it was the Seraphim Angels that she was guided to talk about. I wasn't sure which ones we should focus on first, but I think that we kind of don't know a lot about them, and I know I don't. So Christina, you want to tell us a little bit about you, what you do, and then we can start talking about Seraphim Angels.
Yes, yay! Thank you so much for having me on here. I'm super, super excited. So for anyone who doesn't know me, I'm Cristina Aroche. I'm the Archangel Channel. I'm a spiritual teacher, mentor, and healer. And I guide people on their journey of spiritual growth and awakening by teaching them about the angelic realms. And I help people to deepen their connection to the different angelic beings that are all around us, that are here to support us. So I talk about the archangels, I talk about Archangel Angels, Seraphim Angels, Guardian Angels, really any type of angel that you can think of. I teach about them, I connect with them. I help people to learn how to work with them and deepen their connection to them. And so I channel their messages, their guidance, their healing to support people on their path to discovering what their purpose is and who they truly are, and healing from the things that are holding them back. So I do all of that with the work of the angels. So I'm super excited to be here today to talk about the Seraphim Angels specifically, because I know that a lot of people don't really know about them, or there's not that much information out there about them. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to get into this.
Yeah, I'm excited too. One thing I wanted to mention is that I find it really interesting. We do very similar things with totally different beings.
Yeah.
When Christina gets messages, that she channels messages, she shares them, and I channel messages and I share them, and then we see each other's stuff and we're like, oh, that's the same message that I got today, but I'm channeling them from a dragon and she's channeling them from an angel, and you know, it's always amazing. Like
it's so funny how that happens. Yeah, I love that. And I remembered recently I had messaged you because you shared a message and I was like, that's exactly what Archangel Michael had said earlier too. That's awesome. And it just shows how, you know, it doesn't matter what energies you're channeling. If you're channeling the energies of the highest good and of divine love and light, that they're all here to support us through going through a similar path, a journey, similar, you know, collective energy that comes in. And it's just the difference of the energy that you connect to, but they're all here to support us, which is really cool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the Seraphim Angels. Like, I know the angels have different realms, so I assume the Seraphim Angels kind of have their own realm.
Yes. So they are their own realm, and Seraphim Angels, they are unique personal angels. So there are differences with regards to angelic realms, where some angelic realms are universal angels, meaning that anybody can call on them. So for example, the archangels, a lot of people know about the archangels. The archangels are universal beings, which means that there's just a certain number of them there, and anyone can call on them at any time. They're not personal to you. Where there's other types of angelic realms, such as guardian angels and seraphim angels, where they are personal to you, which means that they are quote unquote assigned to you. So they are here to specifically work with you. And that's the case with Seraphim Angels. So, you know, I have my Seraphim Angels, you have your Seraphim Angels, like everyone has their, or most people, I shouldn't say everyone, and I'll explain that in just a second, but the people who have Seraphim Angels, those Seraphim Angels are specifically for them. So they're the ones for you to call on. So I wouldn't call on your Seraphim Angels, for example, to help me because they're yours. Okay. So that's one thing that's important to know. So they are unique to you. And so the people who do have Seraphim Angels, which I will explain in just a second, but the ones who do, typically have 2, 3, or 4 Seraphim Angels that are assigned to them. And, that number just depends on your purpose, who you are. Sometimes there can be more, but that's the most frequent number of Seraphim Angels that I have seen for people. So 2, 3, or 4. Now, the people who have Seraphim Angels are healers. They're light workers or spiritual teachers. So they're people who are here to work with spiritual realms, to work with energy, to bring forward healing, to bring forward divine light and love onto the earth. Okay, so this is very much focused on healers. And what the Seraphim Angels do is that they support you with your healing abilities. So they support you specifically with opening up your abilities to a greater level, to be able to channel on a deeper level, to be able to connect with higher vibrational energies, to be able to shift energy in a certain way. So depending on the number of Seraphim Angels that you have, they all play a different role. So for example, one might be assigned to you to help you with strengthening your abilities and expanding further on further levels with regards to what you're able to do with your healing abilities. Another one might be there to support you with actually receiving information. So receiving information with regards to maybe in a client session, working with someone, what it is that they need help with, being able to recognize what is going on, like that kind of thing, to be able to then support with their healing. Some of them might be there to support you with doing the actual healing. So they might be channeling the healing energy. You might be channeling from them the healing energy that you're facilitating for a person or a group of people, whatever it is that you're doing. Okay. Some of them are there also to support you emotionally. So as a healer, we go through so many we have to heal our own selves as well. So we go through many growth stages, I guess you can call them, where we release the things that hold us back. We release the lack of belief, lack of confidence, any of those things that hold us back. And so some of the Seraphim Angels are there to support you emotionally as you go through your own personal healing as well. Because for any healer, that's such a huge and important part of your work and of your job. So that's kind of like the basic overview, and that's what they do. They specifically support healers.
Okay, so can you say that like every one of us that knows we're a healer has Seraphim Angels for sure?
Yes, definitely. So with regards to everyone who's a healer, they will have a different level of support that comes from Seraphim Angels. So for example, for some people, and this is something that is also just coming into mind right now that they're showing me with regards to this, and that's a really good question, is because I am so used to working with people who are working with angels in the angelic realms, but for other people who are healers, but maybe you're working with magical beings, maybe you're working with other energies. So with regards to Seraphim Angels, there could also be like maybe 1 or 2. So you might have less Seraphim Angels if you don't really typically work with angels, and they might often just hold kind of like a background role where they support your energy, they support the path that you're following, they support making sure that you're following the path, like your healer's journey type of path, to make sure that you're doing the things that you're supposed to do with regards to your purpose, with regards to what you're supposed to be doing and sharing in the world. They might not have such a prominent role, whereas for other people, their Seraphim Angels might have a much more dominant or prominent role with regards to their purpose and what they're sharing, what they're doing. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So how do you see them?
That's a good question. So I see them so whenever they step forward, whenever I am channeling them for clients or whatever, they step forward in a specific energy and a specific color. So I see them kind of like a turquoise-ish type of color, if that makes sense. So it's that sort of energy. But then when I look deeper, so it's like they step forward in this overall like turquoise colored energy. But then when I work with people specifically, they might come forward in a more prominent other color that is specific to that person. You know what I mean? So they might have like a pink energy to them for that specific person. But when I first connect with them and they come forward, I just see them kind of like as an overall turquoise energy. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Is that how you identify that it's Seraphim Angels?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And I know based on their energy, it's just one of those things where when I identify between the different angelic realms, it's one of those, it's almost like a knowing where I see the energy and it just kind of like clicks. I just know that it's a Seraphim angel. I know it's a different type of angel.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when I know with the magical beings that there are different levels, like we're talking about different realms, so there are different vibrational levels, and like the fairy realms just this slightly higher vibrationally than earth, and then unicorns are more up there with angelic realms. So when it comes to the angelic realms, is it kind of the same way, and where do the Seraphim Angels land? Like you would think, like they'd be up there with like archangels. I don't know if it's just the word seraphim that makes me think that, but
yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, so it is similar with angelic realms where there are different vibrational levels to them. And yeah, so Seraphim angels, they are lower than archangels, but they're still high vibrational beings. So if you were to compare them to the archangels, you would say no, they're lower, but overall in the grand scheme of all the different angelic realms, they are higher up there. So yes, they are high vibrational beings. Yeah.
How many different angelic realms do you think there are? Have you been told, or do you know?
I feel like, honestly, as you ask that question, I keep hearing thousands. So there must be thousands. There's a lot. There's so many different, like, I know that I definitely have not met even half of them, not even close. There's lots and lots and lots of different angelic realms. So yeah, there's
And
tons.
I think it's like that with everything. Like our perception of what we can actually see or connect with at this point is still very, very limited. And I mean, obviously it's beyond what we knew of before we were awakened, but even still, like we're seeing very little compared to how much there is. And that's why there's always more to learn, and there's always new beings coming in, and so much more information that we're always learning. Like we obviously none of us can say we know it all. Like there's so much more to learn and to bring forward to teach people about. So yeah, is there anything else you want to add about Seraphim Angels? I don't think I have any more questions.
Yeah. I don't think so. I think if people out there listening to this are wondering, like, how can I connect with my Seraphim Angel, or how do I get to know them? I would say that if you set the intention, I want to meet my Seraphim Angel, or what's the name of my Seraphim Angel, or do I have a Seraphim Angel? To set the intention out there to start to receive that information, to be guided towards how can I find out, or what can I do to begin to foster that connection. So depending on what your level is, for people watching, in terms of your experience with channeling, experience with connecting, it'll be different in terms of how you're guided towards it. For some people, you might be able to tune in and feel them. For others, you might have to work with a healer or someone to guide you towards them. But it is something that is a great, especially if you are on this journey, you know that you are a healer. It's something that's a very powerful, I don't want to say tool, but a powerful connection to have to support you in your journey as a healer, so
support, why not
yeah,
use the support that we have.
exactly. Yep. So yeah, so I think that's kind of the basics around them, but if people have questions, if they want to post them in the comments, definitely, I can check and answer your questions, but that's kind of the basic overview.
Awesome. I do have one last question that came up. So I know, like, when we're working with our guardian angels, they generally come forward, and even like the healer angel that I've been working with, they come forward and they have names. Is it the same thing with Seraphim Angels, where you just okay?
Yeah, they do have names. Yeah, they have names. It's the same. It's similar to that exact thing where they have names. They have a specific role. So that one is specifically here to support you with emotional support, for example. So yeah, it's similar to that.
Awesome. It was so great to have you on today, and I'm looking forward to doing this again. And there's like unlimited possibilities for videos to talk about angels. So
yeah,
do it again, and I will everyone who's watching, make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment. We'd love to hear what you have to say, and of course we'll watch the comments, and if Christina doesn't get notified, I'll let her know if there's a question for her to answer. If I don't know the answer, if it's about angels, I may not. So yeah, leave a comment so we can know what you guys are thinking, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Yay, bye.